It's springtime in the Pacific Northwest, and that means March is for moss, and we're going to take care of that today on Dat It Yourself. So this year, moss is really bad. If you've seen some of my other videos, I have to attack this every year because this corner of the yard gets almost no sun until early summer. But we had a relatively warm winter, only 3 freezing days, and the moss just grew. It is all the way out to the sidewalk edge, all the way down on both sides. This whole field has moss all the way in it. Plus, as you can see, it's worked its way up into the landscape beds. And in the backyard, it is not much better. It is all along here, and as you can see, it is really thick all back here. And my neighbor had to replace this fence post, so now I have this puddle that I have to resolve, or this is just going to stay sopping wet and always have moss. But look at all this moss in here and all back here. It is really, really bad this year. So you're probably wondering how I'm going to solve the problem this year. Well, here's the rub. I'm having right shoulder surgery in 3 days. And what does that mean? I'm not going to be able to push a mower or lift anything heavy for the next 3 to 4 months. But I have a solution. All right, Jason, what was that you were putting on with the spreader there?
Sure, Scott. This is ferrous sulfite, which is an iron that is really good for landscaping grass. It's got 2 features. 1, it'll kill the moss. 2, it'll green up your grass. Usually takes, depending on weather and some other variable factors, you'll see results in about 2 to 3 days. You'll see the darkening of your grass, I'd say roughly in about a week, but again, Mother Nature kind of determines that and what's going on with your weather.
So Jason, what was that yellow liquid you were spraying?
So the yellow liquid is a prodiamine based. This one specifically is just a W65WDG. So that's just basically just the brand.
That's a herbicide?
So it's not a herbicide. It's definitely not a pesticide.
Okay.
This is a complete pre-emergence.
Okay. What does that mean?
So the pre-emergent would burn off a seed head before it had time to germinate.
Okay.
Post-emergent is after you found the weed in your flower beds or in your lawn or wherever you didn't want the weed. That's where you would treat with a post-emergent.
Which would be a herbicide.
Which would be a herbicide.
Okay, and why did you only spray this in the planter beds and not on the lawn?
So right now the lawn, we just treat it with some iron. So we want the moss to go away. And then the prodiamine only in the flower beds right now is to prevent that bare spot from actually getting new weeds before we start killing off the current weeds that are there as the weather warms up and that seed had time over the fall to establish
and then
itself.
Why didn't we spray it in the lawn?
In the lawn, in the plan with Scott here, or the plan in the future is to possibly do some overseeding, clean up some bare spots that are in the lawn, maybe do some leveling as the season progresses here.
So if we put a pre-emergent down on the lawn,
and that would cause us some extra work and fight us in the long run
because the grass seeds
grass
wouldn't
seed
be
would-
able to germinate.
Absolutely, you got it there, Scott.
All
Okay.
right. So Jason, I don't think I've ever seen those products on the shelf at the Home and Garden Center. Where do you get those?
All right, so the prodiamine you can find at a lot of places. Some local box stores may have it on the shelf. In this particular, there are several different brands. There are more expensive same name brands, or there are generic same products. Okay, the big thing is that you want to make sure that it meets your need. How you know it's going to meet your need? Read the label.
So Jason, that's prodiamine,
Prodiamine here.
and that, what is that?
This is ferrous sulfates.
Okay.
And this you'll specifically find at a lawn and garden or specialty landscape shop. Okay. The good thing with this is it comes in a 50-pound bag. I found it at my local landscape shop. It does last me a long time because you don't want to over-treat, because it'll turn your lawn black, not dead, but it'll over-ironate the plant foliage.
Are there any commercial alternates to these chemicals that someone could find at a Home and Garden Center?
Sure. I would recommend if you weren't comfortable using this, you could use almost any of the moss out products that you would find at a local box store or a local home and garden store, probably in your neighborhood. There you may see various results. Read the label and use what you're comfortable using.
And what about the prodiamine?
The prodiamine, you can find this at a landscape store. You may find this at a larger box store. I purchased mine at Amazon and it gets shipped right to me. Currently, I do not know of any regulations for the state levels that will require shipping restrictions. But again, check with your local landscaper. They'll be able to tell you if it's restricted in your area.
Hey, good morning there. It's a sunny day and a week later from the last clip. And as you can see, I have had shoulder surgery now, and I am unable to do just about anything. So let's take a look around the yard and see what's happened. So it's been a week since I mowed, and the sun is out, so everything's starting to warm up and germinate. We have not overseeded yet. If you remember, Jason sprayed last week, and you can see almost all this is now yellowing up and is starting to die. We'll actually probably pull a lot of that out by hand. And then we've got some stuff in the lawn that's a little bit not supposed to be here. And we'll spray for that probably either this time or next time. Okay, let's take a look at this moss. And it is starting to die, but it hasn't died yet. May need a second treatment. Again, remember, this part of the yard, as you can see, gets no sun. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon and no sun yet. So in the backyard, again, we sprayed all this and it kind of survived. We had a lot of rain this week, so I have a feeling some of that stuff wasn't as efficient as it could be and probably got washed away. Still see some moss here, but it's starting to blacken up. Still got my little puddle. And then back here, oh, look at that. I don't know if you remember him spraying that, but that is deader than a doornail now. So we'll be able to clean that out. Look at that, that's black. And a lot of this is dying. You can see the discoloration. So I don't know if you can hear it, but Jason is here and he's mowing in the front right now. But what I did want to show you guys is this plum tree. Is that beautiful or what? So it may be hard to hear me over the machines, but Jason brought his son with me. He's doing the mowing. Jason's actually doing the editing, or the edging. right, Jason, so we have double mowed the front and the back, and as you saw, we had to use my little DIY homeowner special mower in the back because we couldn't get this beast in the backyard. My gate just isn't wide enough. What is that mower, and why is that better than my DIY special?
So Scott, this is a Toro 30, Time Master 30 inch, and the advantage of it is I get a wider cut pattern, reduce the time. I'm out here mowing, not that I don't enjoy it, but let's get on to other pressing projects. This does have 2 blades underneath. They are synced, so if you're not comfortable syncing them, take them to a professional. They will destroy your blades and can cause serious damage or injury. The best part that I absolutely love about this mower is I can have it running and without the blades engaged. So I can take the bag out, empty it, go from there. Don't put your hands in there, obviously, while it's running, but save some time.
So you don't have to keep restarting it every time you change the bag out. All right. What's it look like underneath?
All right, let's start it up. So to start, I do not need to engage here the blades. This is only for the blades. I can literally...
That's a pretty nifty toy you got there, buddy. So like me, Jason retired from the Navy a couple months after me, and he obviously has some nicer tools when it comes to lawn care. I mean, check out this setup he's got right here. He does this semi-professional on the side, has a couple of lawn care customers, and always helps me out when I need him. But now, we're gonna do some dethatching. Can already see how that dethatcher just yanks that moss right out of the grass. What is that?
So this is a groomer.
Okay, what does it do?
Okay. These blades, as you can tell, have teeth on them.
Kind of looks like a scarifier.
Almost, but not as aggressive.
Okay.
And this is not designed to penetrate the ground like
Okay.
a scarifier.
So does it dethatch?
No. This cuts your grass so it's not growing vertically.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I've never seen anything like that.
This is going to help open up your canopy.
Okay.
As we're dethatching right now, this is going to pick up the dethatch a little bit easier.
Yeah.
But more importantly, it's going to pull out this grass that's not growing straight, as you see that is underneath here. So this is one of the main culprits of the moss not dying off as quickly as we want.
Okay.
It's because the sun can't penetrate and actually dry it out.
Oh.
Because it's just built up too much.
All right. Let's see this thing work. We are wrapping up. This thing has been mowed, dethatched, raked, and everything. And Jason is packing up his equipment. We're just going to do one more moss treatment and we're going to call it a day. So I thought that was going to be more moss, but that does not look like moss. What is that, Jason?
So Scott, this is 18, 18, 18. So on your NPK level, think about it like this. That first 18 is for the grass you see. The next one's for your root system. And that last one is for your overall health of the plants.
So that's definitely a fertilizer.
Definitely a heavy grade fertilizer.
Okay.
We are going to put this down lightly because we don't want to see massive growth, but we do want to give the plant some nutrients to come back a little bit healthier than what it was.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so that does it for the day. I want to thank Jason for giving me a hand today because I really need an extra hand. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions about what we did today, put those down below. Speaking of comments, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned. We got a bunch of videos coming up. And if I've done anything in this video that's helped you out, consider giving me a super thanks, becoming a channel member, or joining my Patreon. I've got some videos over here you may be interested in. Subscribe button's right over here. Thanks for watching. Dad it yourself.